What is up everyone, I'm ATRon The Gamer. In this video I'm going to be showing you where all of the Timeless Isle rares are located. Now unless I say otherwise, they all spawn randomly about every 30 minutes to 1 hour. The map on your screen right now has all of the locations of where each rare spawns or can spawn, and where they patrol. Don't forget that every rare on this Timeless Isle will drop loot for you as long as you deal damage to it, therefore party and faction do not matter for mob tags when it comes to these rares. You can also click on the annotations to locate and identify any of the specific rare that you're looking for on the sides of the map right now. Let's get started, and first up we have Evermaw, the rare shark of the island, and he spawns along the west coast of the Timeless Isle and patrols all the way around the island in a clockwise manner. Make sure not to stand in front of him or he will most likely instantly kill you. Evermaw also drops an item that is necessary to summon Dreadship Vazuvious, which I will get to momentarily. Next up is Dreadship Vazuvious, and as I previously mentioned, you will need an item that is called Mist-Filled Spirit Lantern. It does only last 1 hour, so keep that in mind. But you want to take this to this monument with the purple swirling animations and click the gear on the monument itself. It will work so long as you have the lantern, and only one person needs to do this. Dreadship Vazuvious will yell, and it can be seen in chat so long as you're on the Timeless Isle, and he spawns in the same place every time, which is off of the coast of the northwestern part of the isle. Moving on, we have a rare turtle by the name of Chelon who can be found on the northwestern part of the isle, just east of the Horde camp Huolon. Next up is another turtle by the name of Great Turtle Furyshell, and it can spawn in numerous places along the west coast of the Timeless Isle. Next on the list is Monstorous Spineclaw, and similar to the last rare, it spawns in various places along the west coast of the Timeless Isle. Be careful not to stand in front of him when he is casting Flurry, as you will most likely die. Up next we have 3 rares that will all spawn in various locations around the Celestial Court on the Timeless Isle, the first being Imperial Python. The second is Iron for Steelhorn, which is a rare buffalo mob. And lastly we have the Emerald Gander, a rare version of a Plane or Hawkstrider. Again, all 3 of these will spawn in random locations around the Celestial Court. Moving on, we have the Spirit of Jadefire and Rock Moss, which are both located in the same cave but are separate rares with separate timers. The cave is located just north of the Celestial Court. Spirit of Jadefire can spawn in random places in the cave, usually close to the entrance. Rock Moss, on the other hand, is a bit deeper in the cave, so you will have to go in further to get to him. Next up is Tsavo'ka, which is the rare version of the panther located in a cave to the east of the broken bridge. Avoids standing in his swipe, which can stack and do lots of damage over time. Next on the list is Spelurk, and this rare is a bit unique in that in order to get to him, you're going to have to find a rare artifact on the ground, like the one I'm picking up here. It will grant you a special ability. Once you have the special ability, go ahead and head to the cave to the east of the broken bridge with rocks blocking the entrance, and use this new ability in the vicinity of the rocks to clear the path. Note that if there are no rocks blocking the entrance, Spelurk will not spawn. A druid or mage can also blink past the rocks to get inside of the cave, and use the hammer inside of the cave to clear the entrance, and Spelurk will then spawn. Moving on, we have Golganarr, and his spawn can be identified by him yelling, which can be seen so long as you are on the Timeless Isle. Golganarr has by far the longest spawn rate, and it can take up to 20 hours for each spawn. Golganarr is an extremely large rock elemental, and you can see him from a far distance. He spawns underneath the bridge that leads to the Blazing Way. As melee, be careful not to stand in front of him, as his frontal stomp will most likely kill you. Up next we have Bufo, the rare version of the frogs, and he spawns on the southeastern coast of the Timeless Isle. Be careful not to get 10 stacks of the poison debuff, or you will die instantly. Next on the list is Stinkbraid, the rare version of a pirate who is located on a ship in the southeastern waters of the isle. To get on the boat, simply click on the ropes on either side and you will jump onto it. Stinkbraid is located at the back of the ship on the deck, next to the steering wheel. Next up we have Rattleskew, an undead mob who lurks underwater. In order to spawn Rattleskew, you will need to find the event Battle of the Barnacle, which you will see on your minimap. The event takes place underwater in the southeastern part of the isle. If it is there, swim to the wreckage of the ship and begin killing the hostile mobs. After several waves, Rattleskew will spawn and yell his own name, then proceed with slaying him. Moving on, we have Gu'chi the Swarmbringer, the only neutral rare on the isle. Gu'chi is a rare version of a larva, and it patrols around Old Piju, with miniature larvae surrounding it. Next up is Zhu'Gon the Sour. Similar to Rattleskew, in order to spawn this rare, you will have to come across an event. This event is called Really Skunky Beer. When available, a quota to slay 10 elite mobs will appear at the top of your screen in the middle. Once 10 elites have been slain, Zhu'Gon will jump out of the cake in the middle of Old Piju, and then you can slay him. Up next is Karkanos. This rare has a unique way of spawning in that in order for him to spawn, the NPC Finn Longpaw must be standing on the dock fishing. Simply talk to Finn Longpaw and Karkanos will appear. The dock is located on the southern coast of the isle, and you'll want to avoid his breath, otherwise he will knock you back and do quite a bit of damage to you as well. Next on the list is Cranegnasher, a rare version of a Bengal tiger. Cranegnasher is located northeast of Old Piju and southeast of the Celestial Court. Moving on, we have Zesqua, who spawns in the water southeast of Old Piju and will have miniatures of himself surrounding him. Next up is Jakur of Ordon, who spawns on the southwest corner of the Firewalker Ruins. Jakur throws up a shield barrier to protect himself, and you will be unable to damage him if you attack his shield head-on. However, if you attack him from behind, you will deal full damage to Jakur. Up next is Watcher Osu, who also spawns in the Firewalker Ruins, with the exception that he spawns on the eastern side of it. Moving on, we have Huolon, a dark-colored dragon. Huolon spawns just above the bridge that connects the Blazing Way and the Firewalker Ruins. Huolon will also patrol over the Blazing Way and the Broken Bridge in a circular fashion. Next on the list is Leafmender, who will spawn along the Blazing Way, usually next to a tree, and is a rare version of the plant mobs. Champion of the Black Flame also spawns nearby, just west of Leafmender, and there are 3 of them. From my personal experience, I have found it better to loot them one at a time as opposed to all 3 at once, but I am uncertain if it matters or not. Next up we have Cinderfall, one of the most deadly rares in the Isle, and even more deadly when fought at his spawn point on the Broken Bridge. Cinderfall has 3 attacks that all hit for hundreds of thousands of damage. One is performed in a straight line, the second in a circle around himself, and the third in a cone shape, all of which can easily kill you. Up next we have Garnia, probably the hardest rare to get to, as you cannot get to Garnia by foot, and you will need some other means. Garnia is located in the lake in the northeast part of the Timeless Isle. Moving on, we have Flintlord Gairan, another deadly rare, who can spawn essentially anywhere surrounding the Ordon Sanctuary. Avoid standing in his Blazing Blow ability, or you will most likely die in one hit. I would suggest killing mobs around Flintlord Gairan before attempting to kill him. Next on the list is Urdur the Cauterizer, who is located inside the Ordon Sanctuary and can be accessed from the western entrance of the Sanctuary. Again, I would recommend clearing mobs around him before you attempt to slay this beast. Lastly, we have Archiereus of Flame, who can spawn inside the Ordon Sanctuary, for which you will need the legendary cloak to access. However, if you do not have the legendary cloak, you can still kill him. If you are honored with the reputation Emperor Xiaohao, or someone you know is, you can purchase an item called the Scroll of Challenge from Mistweaver Ku at the Celestial Court for 500 timeless coins. Once you have the item, simply take it to the Challenger's Stone, which is located in the northwest part of the Timeless Isle. Click the gear on the Challenger's Stone, and once the cast is complete, Archiereus of Flame will spawn. I would highly recommend clearing the mobs around the stone if you intend to kill Archiereus. For the sake of this video, I was impatient and just went for the summon. That's going to do it for this video, everyone, so thank you for watching, and I hope you had something to gain from watching this video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to me on my YouTube channel for more WoW and Blizzard gaming content. You can also follow me on Twitter at ATRon The Gamer, and like me on Facebook at ATRon The Gamer. You can also check out some of my other videos in the annotations of this one. Later, everyone.